Man, this is gonna be something. This is gonna be something. Oh man, making sure I tag that account correctly. Yeah, it's about to get ugly. Oh, these comments are already crazy.
Yeah.
Loses
I
to
was just trying to
UVA.
find and retweet it for you. Uh,
Got you. Loses to UVA. Let's talk. Oh man. Yeah, y'all can see we got my guy Andre Dawkins on, the legend. Just the wrong
Legend is
game to
alive.
have. So, hey, you a legendary shooter, legendary shooter, man.
I appreciate it.
Oh man, the Twitter is popping right now. Oh Lord, already 300 in there.
Oh,
But
dang.
yeah, let's discuss this obviously after the intro. But man,
Nobody outside of Kentucky cares about that rivalry.
Exactly. Not
Our,
one
our rivalry.
Who cares about
who wins 2015 or 2010, and everybody is saying 2015. So
just got back up here, John, a couple days ago. So been in the gym a little bit. Me and Joey been in the gym working out together.
As Duke fans, as Duke coaches, you know, 'cause I get excited over there, even in my suit, I'm grabbing Coach Tyler's leg, like.
welcome everybody. Crazy Twitter live. Oh man, I had the score wrong. What was the score? Oh, we lost. Yeah, 68-69. But yeah, appreciate y'all for joining us. Wow. Uh, after 2 days of celebration, it goes down the drain just like that.
Yeah. But I will
Just
say this feels like at least like our third time this season we've done 2 games in 3 days. Feels like we've done it a lot this year.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
4 in 7 days. We got one Thursday and one Saturday. So like it's
Yeah.
and both, or at least one of them's on the road. I think both of them might be, if I remember right. But coming out like that, when you have 4 games in 7 days, your second one being a goose egg, man, it's not pretty, man. Not pretty.
but even just start us off. Tonight I expected this. I expected to come out slow. I expected a rough kind of game, especially with the play style of Virginia and the pack line defense. But at some point you thought it was going to click. I don't know. I personally thought it was going to start clicking for us.
Well, it wasn't the normal like defensive performance that we're used to from this team.
Hmm.
Um, there were times when we would get momentum offensively and then we couldn't get stops. Um, Clark was getting into the paint and finding guys or finishing for himself. And yeah, we just never really got the stops that we needed. And against UVA, it's going to be a low scoring game. You're not going to get a ton of possessions. Um, so yeah, I mean, UVA scoring 69 is like a regular team scoring 80 something. That's a lot of points for them.
And how many were in the paint too? I mean,
Yeah, most of them. You know what? They hit 2 threes.
yeah.
So they weren't hitting threes. They weren't making free throws. We weren't fouling a ton. Maybe we should have, but yeah, all their stuff was just right in the paint.
Like Chanel says here, we knew that shot was going in. We all
Oh
knew
yeah,
that shot was going in. We all
oh yeah.
knew it. Russ, man, what do you think, man? What do the numbers say? The Kempom numbers.
Nah, man, we talked about this a little bit after the UNC game that, you're not as good a team as your best performance and you're not as bad a team as your worst performance. Like you're going to have these like ups and downs, especially with young teams, especially in letdown positions after a big emotional win like on Saturday. That doesn't mean it should happen, but like Tony Bennett's the sort of coach who can definitely take advantage of a situation like that. I mean, We didn't lose the game at the end. We lost the game when we let them get like a 7-point lead. I mean, to Dre's point earlier, that's like a 15-point lead for a different team. I mean, like when they play such close, low possession games, and they dictated the style of play from the beginning. They dictated the pace. They were dribble driving right past us, which is crazy because they are not more athletic than us. They are not bigger than us. They're not even like, I guess Clark is faster than us, but he's so small. Like, I don't know if we were just trying to bite for steals too much or if we just assumed Mark would clean everything up behind. And then, like, I mean, you got to give credit to Bennett. He's a really, really good coach when it comes to like playing games where you're calling out sets and running set plays. He's one of the best in the ACC, if not the country, at doing stuff like that. So a lot of bad things lining up. I don't think people need to completely be destroying Duke online. Like, I've gotten so many nasty things.
My mess is going crazy right now. Like, people,
awful. I mean, like, but you can't let the emotions, like, that's what the numbers should tell you. You can't let the emotions of like the big wins Monday and Saturday of last week convince you that we will win every single game like that. We won't. We're going to have struggles. We're going to have adversity. And, we didn't close it out here. Some very unfortunate bounces of the ball in both halves for us, really. It shit happens sometimes, unfortunately. We shouldn't have let it happen. They did punk us in terms of effort. I agree with the people saying that.
Absolutely.
They punked us.
Yeah, and I think it's like, I understand when we like, oh yeah, we're gonna have games like this and coming off. I'm okay with that in road games, even if it's against a crappy team. Road games, I'm okay with coming out sluggish. At home, we've lost twice at home this year to two fringe tournament teams. I mean, and Virginia's not even a tournament team.
No,
like, how have we lost twice at home against a mediocre team?
Yeah.
So I don't get it. Yeah, obviously, I think a 1 seed is out of the question now unless something crazy happens with the teams in front of us. And like, I was ready to come in here and get excited about Theo, man. Theo with Mark going out with 4 fouls. Theo, man, played great. He had 3 or 4 blocks, was rebounding, was showing some intensity. And then at the end of the game, I mean, even throughout the full second half, man, Paulo, listen, is a great player. And I don't understand the mentality coming out into the second half where there wasn't that, all right, we're going to force Paulo to get shots up. He had the ball in his hands multiple times in the perimeter, and he just gave it away. The only time he drove to the lane in the second half was that one where he tried to do a bounce pass in between 3 guys that he turned it over. I didn't get that either. It was like the one time you get a drive and they're not having all 5 guys collapse on you and you try to give it up on a short bounce pass. Like, I don't know, Dre. Like, if you're in a situation where you know you got a star player in your experience, like, what are you saying to a guy like Paulo at the end of or towards the end of the game when he just hasn't produced anything?
I don't know. I mean, at that point, I don't know that we should really like have to say anything. We
True.
I mean, no, I just mean, like, we're far enough in the season where we understand, like. Obviously I played with a bunch of really good guys. So, at that point in the season, if Kyle Singler or if Jabari Parker or if Austin Rivers, shoots like kind of a tough shot down the stretch, I'm like, okay, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what it was. That was weird to me that, he didn't shoot at all in the second half. Especially they were sending the double, but that last possession, they didn't. And I don't know if he had just conditioned himself maybe the whole half, like, they're doubling, I got to make the right play and pass. They're doubling, I got to make the right play and pass.
Sure.
So he was just kind of in that mindset. I'm not 100%, but I have seen a couple comments blaming him for the last shot. That was not his fault. That was not on Paulo.
That's the best shot you can get right there.
I was very impressed that they got a clean catch and a halfway decent look. I mean,
shout out, Bates Jones.
No, I mean on defense.
The 3-pointer.
Oh,
yeah, the 3.
Yeah,
that wasn't on Paulo. That was a mix up between Mark and Jeremy. I mean, I think Jeremy probably should get out there. That makes more sense to me than staying in on the big. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What did you guys think about taking Theo out for that possession?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, you're guarding, I think they had Kihei throwing it in at the end, and so you're putting your tallest guy on their shortest guy, but then you give up a little bit of the aggressiveness, and Theo had been basically not dominating, but he had been doing his thing, protecting the rim. I still don't. I
Yeah,
haven't
and
gotten
Mark
a
hadn't
chance.
played for
Yeah. So
a
you're
big
bringing in
chunk of that
cold.
second half.
Yeah, you're bringing in cold legs. So I don't know. I still want to see that jump ball call. They neglected to show it on ESPN. They did some wacky replay that showed the whole possession, but that jump ball, and I haven't seen it floated on Twitter because that seemed super like quick, and I was jumping up and down because I thought we got the foul call and we were about to close out the game.
I
And then
thought it
all
was
of
a
sudden,
foul.
yeah, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. So I'm trying to find that clip. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not going to blame the refs. I want to blame Corey Alexander more than the refs, man. That guy was unlistenable tonight with his UVA fandom going on there the whole
Reese
game.
Davis was trash too.
Yeah,
definitely
it was
a pro UVA crowd.
but I mean, regardless, like, and I'll give credit where credit's due. Dell kind of stepped up in the second half too, and they needed a leader. He kind of did his thing. He obviously played well defensively as he always does, but man, like I'm not one because I'm sitting here like I'm not an all pro caliber player like Paulo is, but if this team wants to go to that next level and get to the Final Four and national championship, Paulo's going to have to take, like we've said, 15 to 20 shots a night for this team to be successful.
Yeah,
and
he can't go a half. He can't go a half shooting. But or unless like AJ's just or someone has lost their mind like the other night, then it's like whatever. But no one was doing that. You're the best player. You're going to be a top 3 pick at worst. Like we need you to be aggressive, because if he's aggressive and he's attacking, it opens things up for everyone else anyway. So it's not even about him shooting. I mean, he does have to take some shots, but just being aggressive, getting downhill, and forcing them to do something opens things up for the rest of the team.
I've got to think that like somebody made the comment a few games ago during the broadcast. I forget which announcer it was, but essentially said that like Paolo's getting in his head too much. The announcer thought, and I thought at the time it seemed like a little armchair psychiatrist. I didn't really want to like pay too much mind to it, but I do think there's a degree to which like maybe just the gears are turning a little too much potentially. Like I realize that when you're getting double teamed and you want to help your team win, the impetus has got to be to make that double, to kick it across, to make that pass, to get Virginia scrambling. And that was very effective as it was happening, like when it was happening. But, at some point you do kind of like the part that blew my mind was when he had the ball outside the perimeter. He pump faked the 3. He got his defender in the air for sure. I thought with 100% confidence he was going to lean into the defender and throw the ball up to draw the 3 free throws. I was so confident that was going to happen.
Oh yeah, I remember that play. Yeah,
and he passed it off. He had the guy in the air right in front of him. So I don't know what he's. It's got to be really, really hard, especially when that the draft stock is there. That conversation is happening. I know he's probably got a lot of things that he wants to prove in terms of what he can be at the next level, not just here. But like, I do think maybe to some extent the guy just needs to play his game a little more, cut a little more loose.
I think too. I think he might be going through. We all seen it. A lot of freshmen do go through freshman walls. This might be a freshman wall for Paolo. I think we usually I've gotten spoiled by Zion and Bagley, guys like that who don't really have those because they're unreal. But I think right now he might be going through something mentally too. Like it might be a lot of it in his head. Because even last game, that wasn't a Paolo game.
Right.
And as good as defense Leaky Black played, Leaky Black should not be shutting down Paolo. So like I think a lot of it is mental for him. But one interesting note about this game is AJ Griffin. Because coming into the game, I thought AJ was probably gonna thrive, especially against the pack line defense, because we need someone to hit outside shots. And when you look at the times we've beaten Virginia, even with the RJ Barrett's going 6 or 7 from deep, or Jason Tatum going crazy, it's usually that wing that goes crazy from deep that lights their defense up. I thought it was going to be him tonight. He just looked different. He kind of reverted back to not freshman AJ, but like November AJ.
They didn't let him shoot. They were swarming him, unlike most pack line stuff I've seen. Like they weren't allowing him a clean look the way that I feel like they've let a lot of our freshmen get clean looks in the past before. Not that that's an excuse, but I was pretty surprised at just how limited opportunities from 3 AJ even had a glance at a basket.
Yeah, I mean, and you probably also have to think about it's his second game in 3 days, and he's coming off a knee, so I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. If he's a little more fatigued than he would have been otherwise, because he didn't look. I don't know. He just didn't. He didn't look like himself, or like he had been looking.
No, and he
for the
had
last few games.
He had a couple shots that I feel like were in and out, and a couple like that dunk too, that lefty dunk that didn't fall. But like there was, but I just don't think he could get into a rhythm after a few of those shots didn't drop. And I was impressed by Keel's aggressiveness tonight. I don't know how what he ended up with. He ended up with 12.
It's crazy because Keel's numbers. I'm about to put him back up. It actually looks like he had a bad game. You look at 3 for 11, but I think he did what we needed down the stretch. Like we had no other option, and
no, he was good down the stretch for sure.
Yeah,
man, and who I thought was really good up until a very important play was Jeremy Roach. I liked what Roach was doing all day, and then that's just the worst possible spot to make your worst play of the game.
Oh,
I mean,
so what happened? I was bathing my son, so I was kind of back and forth. So I didn't see it. I just heard it. I heard him say there's a block, and then
basically the guy that got blocked, I can't remember who it was underneath the basket, and Roach
Reese Beekman.
Reese Beekman got wrecked, and then he was underneath the basket. Roach didn't see him as he was bringing the ball up, and he came up from behind him and basically just stripped it out of his hand. Roach had no idea he was even there.
Roach didn't even start bringing the ball up. Beekman was just sitting by the cheerleaders. Roach was standing there still, forgot that Beekman was still back with the cheerleaders on the sideline, and Beekman just came in and was like, "Hey, free ball."
And it was plus the foul. He didn't hit the free throw, but at that point, I was like, we might lose this game.
That's a heartbreaking moment.
That's one of those plays where you're just like, things aren't going our way.
Yeah, but I mean, I know Duke fans are going crazy right now, probably killing me in my message because I said I was, especially because I tweeted this morning that we had a combined 3 losses, 8 points. 8 points.
Make it 9.
3 losses. Yeah. Make it 9 now. And we could easily be undefeated. But
and we play like this. The lead in all of them.
All of it. And this one we were up 2 late and blew it.
I mean, that's got to be a little bit of a concern going forward, especially for bigger games in March, right? Is we're not. I mean, not that we've won close games, obviously, but we've lost. I feel like more than we've won in these closer games, especially games where we've had the lead late. Like, is that? I don't know, Andre, in your experience, is that a concern for March when our teams are they're experienced now in close games are just not succeeding in them?
I mean, I think it's good and bad. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's obviously bad to lose, but it's good that it's not March.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even the 2010 team, we lost a close one at Wisconsin. We lost a close one at Maryland. I mean, back in my day, we didn't lose at home, but I'm kidding.
I mean, that's a fair point.
We got blown out by Georgetown. Lost a close one at Georgia Tech. So it's good to be in those positions and not come through or see what doesn't work. As long as you are logging that stuff and saying, okay, next time, we're in this position again. This didn't work last time, or, I wasn't, from Jeremy, I wasn't fully locked in and paying attention. I got the ball stolen from me, so that, that won't happen again. Or, from Paolo, me not being aggressive didn't work. So, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to attack. If you learn from it, then it's good. If you, continue to do the same things over and over again, then obviously, it'll end with a disappointment in the tournament. Getting bounced earlier than we should.
But Dre, I got a question for you because you kind of hinted at it, but you kind of joked about it. But it might be real. Is Cameron like we used to run teams over in Cameron? Cameron used to have no shot to win. Like now teams are coming in. Some teams are coming close. Clemson came close to doing it. Miami's done it.
Yep.
Virginia's done it. Like What's good with Cameron? Why can't we dominate at home anymore?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure, man, because I don't know. I don't know. I felt like we were always going to win when we were at Cameron when I
Yeah,
played.
we did too as fans, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
like
weird.
because to me, Cameron at its best is worth like 6 points,
Exactly.
and it's hard to overcome that. Especially against us. We're going to be pretty good ourselves. So I don't know. It's weird, man. It's been. I mean, last year was. We just weren't good last year. So that is what it is. But I don't know. It's. I don't
We've
know. I don't know.
we've scored 80 points or more in one ACC home game this year, which was the game against NC State. And the only other time we did it before that was not the only other time, but the first time we did it before then was against Elon. So I mean, I feel like scoring 80 plus in Cameron for most teams was like almost a given. Like
Yeah.
we don't do it this year, and it's kind of crazy with the offensive firepower we have too. I don't know.
Yeah. Part of it,
Yeah.
I think, is well, at least for tonight, is against UVA. It's hard. Regardless of how good they are, it's hard to like get momentum against them. Um, because they play so slow. You know what I mean? Like even if like, okay, we get a rebound, they're gonna get back. They're not really gonna let you get in transition. So it's not gonna be anything really exciting going on. You're gonna have to work for 20 seconds to get a bucket. So it's hard to like really get the crowd going. You know what I mean? You're not gonna go on like a 6-0 run in
Yeah.
40 seconds against UVA. It's just not gonna happen.
Sure.
Because they're not gonna turn it over. If they miss a shot, they're gonna get back. So it's hard to get in transition. So
Yeah.
I think it's hard to kind of really get the crowd going and really get that momentum going to make you, really feel, what Cameron can be at its best.
And
So
we've
yeah.
seen teams do that to Duke in Cameron also. I mean, I think that's kind of, we talked after the Miami loss that there is a bit of a formula. And I certainly do think that slowing the game down, removing the momentum, moving those, runs that Duke likes to go on. And if you're a less talented team, slowing the game down is to your advantage because, like, if we play more possessions, we will get to our level that we normally play on more of those possessions than not.
Right.
So
Yep.
slowing down is just like just enough times. I feel like enough coaches in the ACC in particular have seen like us lose one game in Cameron here, one game in Cameron there, and then now they're like, okay, just lots of back cuts, ISO,
Yep.
whoever the worst defender is, dribble drive, slow, defensive rebounding, and then and then we're in trouble. I mean, we've seen it a few times this year.
That's for sure. It's like, if me and you were going to do a shooting competition,
Correct.
the more, no, hear me out.
Hey, go ahead.
The more shots we shoot, the more the more excuse my way. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Same thing with the possession. So if we shot one shot, that's your best chance to win, right? I may miss, you may make. If we shoot 100 shots, you're not winning.
Yeah.
Same thing with the possessions, right? If UVA is running up and down with us, you're not going to win. But if we can keep the possessions as little as possible, that's the best chance they have to win.
Andre hasn't
and
seen
that's
Russ
what
in
they did.
men's league before, I think is what we're getting at here.
Hey, I'm taking me all day, baby. I can still shoot that thing.
That's I was going to say. You said 100 shots. Give you 3 shots, and I don't feel like I have any chance at that point. You know what I mean?
Andre, quick question for it. I don't mean this to be a dumb question, but since you were there and now watching the teams of the last couple of years, has there been a big shift in the way K runs the offense? Or is it kind of still the same? I mean, I know basketball, but I don't know enough to where I'm watching every game. I'm more of a fan. I'm not watching it analytically to see what kind of offensive sets we're running. Are these the same sets or are these different than when you were around?
They were in pretty much the same menu, which I don't know. It's hard because we have like 1,000 plays, so
Sure. Because like sometimes what I'm getting at is it just seems like sometimes they come down the floor and you see 1 or 2 screens set and that's kind of it. And maybe I'm not paying a close enough attention, but it seems like 4 guys
Yeah,
standing on the perimeter. Mark Williams sits down low. They pass it around until somebody gets a dribble drive and go from there.
yeah, that's different. I think our freshman year, or my freshman year, I guess, like the offense was way different because we didn't have like one guy. We had 3 with John Nolan and Kyle,
Yeah.
and so it was just kind of like the ball was just moving. It would find one of them, in an advantageous position, and they make a play, they score. They pass it, dump it down, kick it out to one of us. So that was more like motion oriented. We didn't call a ton of like plays per se. We called more actions where like this happens. There's a difference between an action and a play. A play is like for like I'm gonna call a play for Andre. The play is for Andre to do this, right? And this person's gonna do this. This person's gonna do that. That's a play. An action is more like we're gonna start something, like we're gonna do a down screen, and then we don't know. We're gonna do an up screen, and then we don't know. We're gonna do a drag screen in transition, and then we don't know what's gonna happen.
Sure.
So when they attack, it's like he goes that way, I'm gonna go this way. Kyle cuts this way, I'm gonna fill behind Kyle. John goes off the ball screen away, I'm gonna fill behind John. They're gonna roll. Zoobs is gonna, you know what I mean. And it was just like it's more like, okay, he did that, then I need to do this. And now I think they run more plays where like there's a set outcome, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Where like this is going to be the outcome. Paolo's going to get it in the post, and then which is cool. But then like you gotta, if it doesn't work, you gotta keep doing things. I feel like you run a play, it breaks down, and then it's not really a lot. You know what I mean? Like even when we run plays my freshman year,
into the paint, just
right. Even like my freshman year, if we run a play, okay, that didn't work. Now we're playing that same motion game that we play out of, our other stuff. So
yeah.
How much do you think the offense is being simplified just as a result of how young the teams have been? The fact that we have so many more guys who are underclassmen routinely. I'm sure that has some limitations to set plays and actions you can run just by matter of experience.
I think that definitely has something to do with it, because even throughout my time there, like our offense has changed, and our defenses too. Like my freshman year, our defense was like super complicated, but we had a bunch of old guys. The bigs kind of did whatever they wanted on ball screens, not whatever they wanted, but they called whatever. You know what I mean? Like they could ice it, they could trap it, they could show high, they could show low, and like as guards, we just had to react to whatever they were calling. And then by my last year, there was a bunch more younger guys. Jabari and Hood were playing bulk of the minutes, and so we had to change how we played because like they hadn't been around as long. It wasn't a group of guys that had played together for 2, 3, 4 years. And understood like when those 5, like you got to think about those 5 guys in 2010 that started is 2 juniors and 3 seniors. That was their 3rd full year playing together. So offense was just like it was easy. Offense and defense was easy because like, dude, we've been doing this for such a long time. And
when the other guy will be on the floor at all times.
Exactly. And so it's different when guys haven't played together. And guys haven't got to, it's just experience and be around each other. You're kind of like, I don't know. Like, am I going? Am I not going? Am I going this way? Am I going that way? Like, what's he gonna do? So I think that definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, I think that time period might be over. Well, it is over just because we're in the era now of one and dones, and we're probably gonna be stuck with that for a long time now.
Yeah, unless the NBA goes back to straight out of high school.
Yeah.
Or if NIL continues to evolve, and I mean maybe like more fringe guys. We certainly saw more fringe guys who could have been second rounders last year come back this year. I don't know that'll ever extend to the first rounders that Duke tends to have, obviously, but
Yeah.
a guy can dream.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, NIL as it stands now is not going to make up that difference.
No.
In terms
Especially
of
not for that
money.
5-year deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's just yeah. If you're a first rounder, you got to go. But I mean, my thing is we've had freshmen go undrafted. We've had underclassmen go undrafted
Last year.
and I'm like, yeah. I don't want to necessarily call out guys, but that's like, what can you do? You know what I mean? Like, where do we? How do we combat that if you're not even getting picked? If you're like if you're Paolo, bye, like go, like don't. You know what I mean? Like I can't. I'm not mad at that. You're Zion, bye, go. You can't come back. But yeah, because I'm all about striking while the iron's hot. Like if you're hot, then you should you should get the heck out of here. Go make some money,
100%.
some life-changing money. But you get, especially now, like you can do the process and go through it. I think you can even go to the combine, and get feedback.
Yeah,
and
then come back to school.
Yeah, and they're telling you, I don't know, 50 something, 55, like maybe. And then you're still like, nah, I'm out. I don't
Yeah,
really
then you just didn't mess with school like that. Like you just you just wanted to be gone. Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to jump into is because Twitter's going crazy right now. I know people DMing me all these. We gotta address the overreactions. There are so many overreactions to tonight. People saying, "Oh, this team is a second round exit." Like, this team is not gonna, do anything come March. This team is a fraud. All that. I'm seeing all those tweets.
Same people that thought we were winning it all after Saturday, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I will say this. This team could lose in the second round.
I think they have the ability to. Yeah, we've said that all year.
Yeah, could
lose in the first if we're being honest.
Don't do that.
Nah, I don't know about all that.
We've had really good teams lose in the first round. I mean, like
nah. Which really good teams that plays defense? That plays defense.
No, because my last year when we lost.
Where's that defense tonight?
When we lost to Mercer, we weren't good.
Yeah,
that was the worst team I played on.
The Austin Rivers team was up and down all year.
Yeah, we had the gap between us at our best and us at our worst was too big. That team was good, but CJ was
different.
That he was a monster, and we weren't ready for that. But that team, the team with Austin, we could have been Final Four. We could have lost to Lehigh and Greensboro. Like that was the gap between us. I think this team is like that, where this team can win it. Obviously, they beat Gonzaga, beat Kentucky, or they can lose to a UVA. I don't know about first round because they'll probably be a 2 seed. That'll be tough.
It's kind of, I don't know. As a Duke fan, I feel like we've been saying this. Yeah, for real. I feel like we've been saying this too much. We're like, Duke could go to the Final Four, or Duke could lose in the first round. Like, I feel like we've had too many. And I'm not like, obviously, I feel like there's only a select few teams, 1 seeds included, that outside of Virginia, who are not going to lose in the first round. Like, I get it. So there's not that many teams every year that you can say that about. But like, it just seems like we're constantly like, well, Duke could be a 2 or 3 seed and could get bounced in the first or second round. But hey, they have the ceiling to be a Final Four team, and we never end up seeing those ceilings come to fruition. Like Zion's team, we all thought they had a definite chance to win the national championship, but we also kind of were like, they could also lose kind of early, and
they almost lost early.
And they almost lost early.
Lost to UCF.
Yeah. So it's like
so many people in 2015, even with as good as we were, pointed at 2012 and 2014, and like because I had like. I'm from the Southeast where, like, I know a lot of, like, Virginia fans, FSU fans, Maryland fans. They all were like, yeah, Duke's just getting bounced early the way that it's happened the last couple of years. We're the one and done there or whatever, right? Like, so it's always that sort of differential. Any team, you're right, Ryan. Any team can lose. That's kind of what I meant. I didn't mean like I think we will.
Yeah.
I don't think we will, but
I think we've had some teams that the gap is smaller, where it's like they're gonna go a certain, like they're gonna get to a certain point, and then until you get to Elite Eight, like whatever, there's 8 really good teams. You may win, you may lose. Like 2010, like we weren't losing the first weekend. 2011, we almost lost the first weekend, but we were good. Like we were really good.
There's a consistency of play that comes into as a factor for like a lot of those things. I feel like consistency of play has obviously been a defining problem of, at least a number of the seasons of the one and done era. But the ceiling is also there. I mean, I wouldn't trade the ceiling that we have for
no. I think we're gonna be. I think we're gonna be all right.
I agree.
I don't know. Like, so here's the formula, basically tonight. Paolo shoots no shots in the second half. AJ, I don't know, plays a couple minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
Mark Williams is our leading scorer.
And he did protect the rim. He did not protect the rim at all.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's the leading shot blocker in the ACC. Doesn't protect the rim. And Jeremy has to, lose his mind and turn the ball over. 5'2" Kie Clark has to get a jump ball with
Theo John.
Theo John, with it being their possession. Like all those things like have to happen, and then we lose by 1 on a miscommunication. So for all you Duke fans out there, let's relax with the doom and gloom for maybe a day, and let's keep supporting our team.
I want to get back to the upcoming schedule here in a second, but I gotta laugh, man. Going back to the UNC game, so Theo posted that picture with the caption on Instagram that Caleb Love had from last year.
Yes.
Caleb Love decided now about 10 minutes ago to go comment on that post and say, "You a savage, huh?" On Theo's post.
Whoa! No, I gotta get that screenshot.
Yeah,
you get. I tweeted it out, man. But like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't like. Like you can't hang your hat on somebody else's win. Like you couldn't do it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So you gotta say something when someone else does it. Like, come on, man. And you played like crap. Like just let
it go.
Get your team to the tournament before you like start getting on Instagram.
I love it. Let them chirp all they want, man. I love that. I feel more confident against good teams than against these bubble teams. Like good teams are very confident. The Duke's mentality will be strong going out, and they're going to beat the hell out of them in Cameron. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, that's going to be ugly. I think I'm going to be at that one.
Nice.
We'll see.
Coach K is doing the same old in the press conference today. Just his tough loss of how it ended. We were not worthy of winning most of the game. Teams are hungry when they play us, and we have to be hungry after we've eaten. That's good. That's a good line, Coach. I'll give you that.
Yeah. But I can't even blame really Coach K tonight because a lot of this was effort. Like, this was pure effort. Like,
it was a lot of like 50-50 balls.
The 50
they were just taken from us.
And so many like layups that we missed, like the dunk we missed, like any one of those layups goes in, the game's different.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a question for all of you. Yeah, there it is. Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
You got smoked, and then Virginia's the one that beat us, and now you start talking?
You celebrating Virginia's win, bro?
Yeah, y'all got weird. Y'all got clapped. Y'all really got beat by 30.
Weirdo,
That's weird, bro.
Y'all went an 8-0 run against our walk-ons.
Yeah,
you don't do that to Theo. Of any guy on the roster, you don't do that to Theo, bro.
No.
Game two is gonna be funny.
Yeah, he's gonna catch a hard screen for sure.
What a dork.
Yeah. All right. So we just lost to UVA. So we're playing 4 games in 7 days right now. So we got Clemson on Thursday,
crazy.
Boston College on Saturday, both road games. Both obviously winnable games, especially BC. I guess any of you, what do we expect? Like, this is weird. We're gonna come out and 3 days now and have to play on the road in a hostile Clemson environment. They always show out. So, I mean, Dre first, like, what does Coach K do in the situation when it's an effortless loss?
That's double entendre, huh? I'm not really worried about the next one. Having experienced losing at Duke, I'll just leave it at that. Especially in games like this, where it's one thing like, man, we play hard, they play hard. They just hit one more shot than we did. Like
Sure.
like losing in this way, in this manner, where it's like they just they outplayed us, they outworked us. It's not really going to sit well with Coach. So practice probably won't be a ton of fun, I would guess. I'll leave that at that as well. And so yeah, I'm not really too worried about. Again, don't clip this. Not too worried about the Clemson game. I think they'll bounce back in that one.
I agree too.
And then BC.
That's not a good basketball team.
I
am not worried about BC.
Well,
my homeboy is the starting center for that team. I watched him play 3 years in college, and he's getting 16s for them some nights. Nah, man.
The thing about BC is like they're not good. They haven't been since like JJ's years. But it's hard to play there because there's no one there. Like no one comes to the game. It's like a high school game in the middle of nowhere. There's no fans, especially for us. Humble brag, like everywhere we go, like they're gonna pack it out. They're gonna sell it out. They're gonna be going crazy trying to beat Duke. But BC, their fans, I guess, are just like, we're not gonna win. So it's hard to like get ready to play a college basketball game there because the atmosphere is so trash. It
might be more of a home game too, low key.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably will be more neutral site than anything. Especially, it's cold, like it's snow on the ground. The gym is cold. Like I think they got ice under the floor, so like the floor is cold. Like everything is just cold and dreary. It's like it's really hard. Like it's hard to play there.
Andre, did you lose at BC at all?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if we were bringing out some demons there. There was a lot of stuff you did not like about BC. So
no, it's not that hard because the team isn't good. But no, it's just like it's hard to like get ready to get playing. We didn't lose there. The only time I remember going up there was when Jabari went off for like 30. I don't really remember. I don't remember going up there any other time, honestly.
Wasn't memorable then.
It wasn't.
Yeah, Ryan, to your point, I mean, gamblers all know that, after the big win is the come down spot where it's hard to get up for it. And after the embarrassing loss is the great come up spot where teams just tend to perform a little better than they would have in a different situation. Obviously not to excuse the loss today, but I mean, I think if we had not covered the spread today, I don't think any of us would have been surprised. I would be surprised if we don't show up for the Clemson game, especially because Hunter Tyson will probably be out. He was one of their more effective players against us in the close game in Cameron. So that should be pretty good, especially a guy who was helping on AJ and Paolo a lot. So I think that's good. And then the BC game, yeah, I mean, for the love of God, let's not even put that shit in the air.
There ain't no way we lose that game, bro.
No.
If we lose that game, bro, all these overreactions, they're warranted.
Yeah, I'm tossing my laptop out the damn window.
But I got to drop out. I appreciate Dre for coming on. Y'all can finish the show without me, but
sweet. Appreciate it, Zion. We'll go just a little bit longer here.
Yeah.
All right,
sweet. Dre, I got a question for you, and you don't have to name a situation. This is a question because of that Jason Tatum clip that went viral when he talked about at halftime, Coach K called him a soft-ass kid from St. Louis or soft-ass St. Louis kid. Did you – and I saw a tweet tonight referencing I hope Coach K goes into the locker room and tells Paulo he's just a soft-ass kid from Seattle. So not that you need to name any situation, but did you ever have a moment like that where you were in the locker room and Coach K called out a guy to that extent?
Probably. Yeah, he wasn't scared to call nobody out. Yeah, I won't say no names. I mean, I've also heard a bad one about a guy who played before me. That it was bad, and because it's bad because like it was a story that was like passed down because he played like a few like years before me. And
Sure.
there's a story that was like passed down. It was like, yo, and so coach did this after the game. And it was like, dang, what? And then so it's like a little locker room legend.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like he will definitely call you out. I think Nolan said it that year we came back against Carolina at home. He didn't even
Mhm.
say anything. He just came in. Like they come in, they talk, and then they go out, and then they come back in and talk at halftime. Um, he came in and just stared at Nolan instead of talking. Like he just stared at him and then left. Like didn't say a word. Walked in. I think we were down like 14 or something at halftime. Walks in,
That's
stares at
amazing.
Nolan for like 30 seconds. Dead silent. Everybody's like, well, like, what's going on? And he just walks out. And I don't know. Nolan got the message because he went off in the second half. So
Yeah,
I
that's
guess it
amazing.
worked.
Gotta love the tactics, man.
Yeah. He's always got something.
Russ, what do the numbers say right now about a 1 seed possibility? Anything? Any chance?
Do the other teams lose a lot? I mean, like that's really our best chance, I would think. And I mean, even because the problem is, honestly, we've got like 5 Q1 wins. Our resume like is not bad right now. The Miami loss is still a quad 2 loss. I think it's going to drop to a quad 3 loss again. They've got a pretty tough slate coming up, so that's going to be 2 quad 3 losses. And the problem is, outside of this Clemson game coming up, which may be a quad 1 win, but like
You
probably
don't have any. There's no
yeah, we don't have
competition.
any other opportunities for the rest of the regular season. So even though teams like, obviously the SEC teams, the Big 12 teams, even Gonzaga, they have more chances at quad 1 games in conference than we do for the rest of the slate. So where we are right now is pretty dire. We've got to beat Clemson. We can't lose another quad 3 game by any stretch, and then we're going to have to get a lot of luck. I think 1 seed's probably toasty, and really 2 seed in the East, like in a desirable region, is probably not very reasonably in reach either. I mean, like, I think we'd be looking at like it. Luckily, right now, a lot of the 2 seeds are teams that would prefer the Midwest, the West, and the South. There aren't a lot of good East Coast teams right now for some weird reason. But that we don't want to be relying on that at the end of the day. Like if Kentucky is not a 1 seed, if they're a 2 seed, they'll probably be ahead of us, even though we have the heads up, victory, just because they're going to have way more quad 1 wins than us. So
yeah, I mean, because it's Auburn's going to be a 1.
Auburn will be a 1. Zags
The
will
Big
be
12 is going to get a 1. And
almost
Gonzaga's a 1. So it's like 1-1 left, and you'd have to win out plus tournament.
Yeah.
Plus someone in front of you lose.
I think Arizona's got a really good argument.
Oh, yeah. The Pac-12 may get a 1, too.
Yeah. The winner of the big, especially if Purdue wins the Big Ten, like if that comes through, then they're a 1. I mean, just there's a lot of
Houston could win out, too.
Yeah, Houston could grab a 1.
Yeah. Dre, I'm assuming the answer is no, but no seed talk at all in Coach K and like around the team never comes up, I'm assuming.
No.
I always find that funny that like something that they never bring up, but it's something that we're always talking about. Like,
he probably thinks about it.
Sure.
I'm sure he thinks about it, because I don't know if we've won without being a 1. But no, he didn't say anything else about it.
Is it something that you as a player, I mean, I know that like when a game is a big game, but are you like, this is also just a weird year because normally there's just so many big ACC games coming up that like, it's not like you have to think about, man, this is like a big important game because so many of them are, but like, is that sort of thing crossing your mind? Like just, this is a big opportunity for us. I mean, I'm sure it is.
Not in terms of the tournament.
Right.
Because like, we're going to the tournament.
Right.
At least back in my day. No, I'm kidding. We're going to the tournament, so that isn't really a thing. We just try to win the game. And like you said, it's always a big. Uh, we always had big ACC games coming.
Yeah, this is such a
So
weird.
it's just it's a big game. We got to win, point blank, period. And then you kind of start to. Honestly, I don't really remember thinking about seeding until like after the ACC tournament, and they were like, "Dang, well, where do we land? Where do we land?"
Yeah.
Freshman year, we were pretty sure we are gonna get a 1. Then it was just a matter of like, can we get the South? Sophomore year, I think we were pretty sure we were gonna get a 1, and then again, it was just about the region. We got screwed and got thrown out west.
Yep.
Uh,
So it's a
and
dumb question.
then-
Were you guys? I guess it depends on the location of where the regionals take place. But is South what you guys preferred throughout most of your time?
Yeah, we were trying to get South.
Interesting. I always assumed it was the East, but maybe I'm just. I always thought Duke fans were always clamoring for the East. So
we wanted,
It could
freshman
depend
year.
on location.
Freshman year, I think we wanted South, which I don't know why, because I don't know where the East region was, but the South region was in Houston. And they screwed us there too. They threw Baylor as our 2.
Yep.
Committee does not like us. Yeah, I think we wanted South because I don't know. Maybe we couldn't. I don't think we couldn't get the East. I think because I think it was Kentucky that year was in the East. Something I don't know. Somebody I think someone was just like they're gonna get the East. So let's get this out. I don't remember.
Yeah,
let's just not go west, basically. Like,
right. We don't want that.
Yeah, we just didn't want to go west. So
yeah. Russ, do you
East
think
or
are we closer to a 3 than we are a 1 number?
I think that's goes without saying almost at this point. I mean, just like the fact that we have what will realistically be 2 quad 3 losses and only 5 quad 1 wins. I mean, that's pretty brutal, even with the strength of our schedule up top. I mean,
yeah,
bracket matrix, which does not factor in today's loss. I mean, they had us as the top 3 seed before factoring in today's loss. There's just a lot of teams that are really damn good at the top and have really great resumes and a lot of opportunity to build on those resumes. Like, we're in a tough situation. I've been yelling at that. I've got this normal Duke fans who are angry at Gonzaga every year in my mentions, obviously. Like, Gonzaga's schedule is weak. And I'm like, dude, Gonzaga's going to play more quad 1 games in conference than we are. I mean, like, their worst teams are obviously worse than the worst ACC teams, but like, they've got real resume building potential on their slate that we just don't have this year. It's a weird ass.
They also take care of business, man. They
they
don't play around. They stomp people into the ground.
Yeah, they cover, like, somebody was mad that like Gonzaga, we beat Gonzaga, but we didn't rise up after beating UNC. BYU's better than UNC, and they went to BYU, just beat them by 33.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been 40. Like, they do not mess around with those small games ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, few probably understands, like, people, they're going to discredit mid majors as much as they can. So, if you're going and winning, by 3 points at San Francisco or whatever, like, that doesn't help. So they definitely take care of. They just beat the crap out of teams, and it's like, this shit, we got to put them at 1.
Like, right.
I'm sure that the consistency of that mentality, though, is still probably hard. I mean, like most teams, it's just be like, oh, we should be able to waltz in and beat this team, and like, you got to give credit to teams like that for not ever really messing around like that. I mean,
for sure.
Double 60, yeah, sure. I've had a couple of people probably in this chat that flood my mentions with anti-Gonzaga stuff.
Last question for you, Dre. Quick, somebody had brought it up. Nobody on this team has major tournament experience, and that's COVID due to that. I mean, there's a couple of factors in there, but is that a concern for you as one who's played in the tournament that this team has? I don't think we have. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has Theo played in the tournament? I don't think Wendell has. Theo played in the tournament. Wendell hasn't. Not. Yeah, Jeremy hasn't. So, like, what's your take on that?
Joey has. I think that might be the only guy.
Oh yeah, yep. Because he came in with
Theo
Zion.
played one game. Yeah. Actually, Bates Jones. I don't know that he played, but Bates Jones was on a team that made the tournament.
Okay.
So we've
But
got
no is the answer to that. Yeah.
yeah. So we've got like a combined 3 games experience.
And they might not even played.
Yeah. So yeah, that definitely concerns me a little bit. Because like, yeah, my freshman year that tournament, I was like deer in headlights a lot of times. But like the first game, I think we're playing like Arkansas Pine Bluff. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like,
just different
like
or
coach,
what?
yeah, it's different. Like so much like pressure. Like I feel like you put on yourself. There's so like that first weekend is so much going on. Because there's so many teams there.
Yeah.
And I think we played Friday, so you watch games all day Thursday, and you're just like amped up. And I was just like, what? Like I don't know what to do. And we weren't even playing. We weren't playing anybody. We won by like 30 points. To the point where like coach had to like pull me aside after he pulled me out of the game. I think I had like 4 fouls. I don't foul. Like why do I have 4 fouls? Like he pulled me aside after he took me out. It was like basically like chill out. Like you're like settle down, reset. Like we need you in this tournament. So like you gotta be like put this behind you. Like let's move on. We're gonna need you throughout the tournament. Well, he actually said we're gonna need you against Cal, and I didn't play against Cal, so he didn't need me against Cal.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I guess he saw enough against Pine Bluff, but no, yeah, that is important. And then national championship game was like the same thing. Again, I was like a deer in headlights. What is going on? Like I came in. It's 80,000 people there. Came in at my normal time. Everything's normal. I remember like it was yesterday. I came down on offense. We ran something. I caught it on the wing. I threw it in the Zoobs. And I was like, please go up. And I was like, if he passes it back out, I don't care. If he passes it back out to me, I don't care what's going on. I'm shooting it because I don't know what else to do. And sure enough, he passed it back out. And I was like, I just got to shoot it because I'm not doing anything else. Like I know how to shoot. I'm not putting the ball on the ground. Like, yeah. So I clearly, as you can tell, I was not in like the mindset to play that game. So I shot it, and we were in Lucas Oil. It's a huge stadium. It's hard to shoot in stadiums. I clanked it off the other side of the backboard. So that's not good. So that jacked me up because I'm like, that's the only thing I know how to do, and I just basically airballed it. And then I come down on the other end. I think I had subbed in for Nolan. I subbed in for Nolan. Came down on the other end on defense. Again, I'm like, oh shit. Because I don't play defense is not my thing. Yeah. So you didn't have to agree so quickly though.
We get it. We get it.
Yeah. So it came down with defense, and then guy gets to the top of the key, hits me like a boom cross. I'm out of there. Pull up jumper, boom. And I'm like, Jesus. And then I see Nolan gets up, climbs up the steps, walks over to the table. I'm like, yeah, that's it for me. And yeah, that was it. Put my warm up back on, put my pants on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had my pants on because in the celebration, I'm pretty sure I was running around with my pants on because I knew I was like, yeah, no, that's it. And credit to coach. That's why he's the GOAT. He knew I had no business being in that game, so he took me out and never put me back in. And Kyle played all 40, John played all 40, and Nolan played like 39 in 20 seconds. So yeah,
whatever you played, that's what he was out.
Long story short, tournament experience matters. So there we
have 24 combined minutes of tournament experience.
Nice.
3 points scored. Do you want to guess who scored the 3 points in the NCAA tournament?
Bates hit a 3. No, Joey hit a 3.
It was Joey in the North Dakota State game. Garbage time. Hit a 3.
Yep. Nice.
Well, you just made me so much more confident in this team's tournament chances, Andre. As much as I wouldn't want to end on that, we've been going at it for an hour now, and I'm going to go cry a little bit more after that one. But hey, man, we appreciate you coming on. We'll do this again. Shout out to Tick Pick, and thanks for everybody for watching. I don't know if we'll be back on Thursday. I think it might depend on the result. I can't do this again.
The sad boy video. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't give up on us just yet, man.
No,
no, definitely won't, man. Russ, appreciate you coming back on, and we'll see y'all later.
Adios.
See ya.